Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is B. Avery, creator of Just My Opinion,
And I'm Malcolm Toussaint.
and we are here with you today for our spoiler-filled opinion of the movie Her. And if you just heard me, yes, I did say spoilers. So, if you have not seen the movie Her and you do not want to be spoiled, I strongly suggest you turn the video off now. Or if you're watching on YouTube, like I'm sure you are, you can just put it in that watch later list because we're going to be talking as if you've seen the movie up, down, left, and right, talking about all the plot points, what we liked and disliked. So, again, if you do not want to be spoiled, because we're going to give you our spoiler filled opinion. So, here it is Her.
Her was directed by Spike Jones, who also directed the classic adaptation, and Ben John Malkovich also here recently, Where the Wild Things Are. So
Really, unfortunately, I didn't see Where the Wild Things Are. I didn't see Being John Malkovich. Malcolm here tells me that I do need to get on that. Now, I just want to jump in with our expectations for the movie. I thought it was pretty weird when I first saw the trailer. I don't know, when I saw the trailer, I saw Joaquin Phoenix, and I thought to myself, I was like, didn't he retire from acting? I remember a few years ago, I thought I read an article where he said he was giving up on acting and wanted to go to, making music, and that was his true passion, and movies is kind of something that he fell into. Don't know if that was true or it was just some negotiating tactic because he wanted to get, bigger or better deals within the studio, but I don't know. But, he did great things like Gladiator back in 2000, all the Academy Awards that was nominated for, and I think it won a couple or two. Probably should know that. But, he's back. I saw the trailer with Joaquin Phoenix, and like I just said, I thought initially it was pretty weird, but, I was instantly drawn in, just like, wow, this is a, pretty good actor. How the hell is he going to fall in love with a operating system or computer? And that intrigued me, and it made me want to see it. It was something that I look forward to. I didn't go in thinking it would be a perfect 10, but if you live in the Los Angeles area or New York, I'm sure you saw the movie around Christmas time of 2013. I think today was January 7th of 2014, and we just got back from the theater. It's released everywhere. Well, you've seen it now, so the movie's already out. But my expectations were optimistic. I don't want to say high. It was above fair, but it was optimistic. We wanted to go in with an open mind and just see something different. So, what about you?
yeah, I'm a big fan of Spike Jones, so I was pretty excited about it. Being John Malkovich and adaptation are two of my favorites. Where the Wild Things Are, was written by him, and it was a little weird. It was very emotional, so I was like, well, it's probably gonna be on that level. When I first saw her, the poster, I was like, but then I saw Spike Jones, so it made me feel a little bit more comfortable. I knew it was gonna be kind of emotional, gonna be some funny parts in there, so I had some pretty high expectations for it.
So, Malcolm had high expectations. I guess mine are kind of the same, optimistic, open mind. So, I guess the next question is, did it meet up to those expectations? So, just real quick, what are your first impressions? Because I don't know how it feels because we haven't talked about it. So I guess here we go, putting it on the spot.
I generally liked it. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I put it on the same level as Where the Wild Things Were. I mean, it was, like I said, very emotional. But, I mean, it wasn't great,
Really?
but I was expecting a little bit more.
Really?
I mean, it was a genuinely heartfelt, love story. But I guess I just expected a little bit more. But it was what it was.
You thought it was simple?
I mean, it went pretty.
I mean,
pretty,
that's fine. I mean, that's your opinion.
no, I'm just saying as far as like the love story. I mean, it was deeply layered. Like
Yes.
it spoke to society and some
It
things we got
did.
going on.
Oh,
But I guess
man.
I was just
I
expecting
can't wait
something
to
else.
get into that.
I was expecting something else, but
Really? Well, hold on. What would you expect then? I'm just curious now.
okay. So what we got was a love story. The cat really like fell in love with his computer,
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me.
his operating system.
Yeah. I'm. Let me get in my. I really enjoyed the movie. It's actually something that I will possibly buy and watch it over again. Not I wouldn't say once a month, but you know those times every few months where you just want to, watch something again that you haven't seen in a while. I can see myself scrolling through my DVD Blu-ray collection and pop it in her. It was in the near future. They didn't put an exact date with it. I want to, without going too crazy, I don't think it was past the year 2022, maybe. And I'm just
Did you
guessing.
just make that up?
2000. Yeah, I just
Okay.
made that up. Yeah, cause yeah, I mean, like if it's a movie, okay, if a movie comes out and there are flying spaceships, you can probably say, okay, this is the, year 2154. But with this, with some of the technology that they were using, and they wasn't just throwing it in your face, and if it was done the right way, in a nice subtle way. So, just general impressions. I really enjoyed the film. I will recommend it to you and to all your friends and family if they like that. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I talked to my mom before I saw this. She had no interest in seeing the movie, and after I watched it, I don't think she will, or at least want to go to the movie theater to go see it. Because my mom's she doesn't see every movie, but she does go more than the average person. So I thoroughly, I really enjoyed it. I really did. And I just want to get to the gist of it. So, what is the movie about? It's just like what you think it's about. It's about a man that, from the trailers and previews, I kind of thought that he was a lonely guy, which he was, but he fell in love with his computer or operating system called OS for operating system. And the thing about it was crazy is the operating system. It wasn't like Apple, don't sue me, series or from Apple. It was like a real person,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No,
It was
it was. That's
it was
how
a
it was
real it was a real person. The only thing is they did not have a physical form. I mean, they thought on their own. I mean, I think they even took it a step further than Jarvis in Iron Man, in the Iron Man movies. Tony Stark's artificial intelligence, but it was a real person with feelings. And the scary part of it is that at some points the operating system was making decisions on their own with actually permission, from the master. But going in, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And that's kind of what what I was thinking about. Like I've seen that happening in the movie, and
Terminator.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what
iRobot.
popped in my head. I'm like, what is gonna happen? And nothing really happened. It was just a love story.
Right, but it did kind of, I don't
It
wanna
brought
jump
it
to the
up.
end. It did kind of like, I don't want to say it scared me because it's not a scary movie. I was really concerned about what direction Spike Jones is going to take this, towards the end of the movie. But I want to talk about that, a little bit later. But it's a man that he's kind of a Joaquin Phoenix. His name is Theodore. He is a professional handwritten letter writer. Which it's not really handwritten, but that was his title in the movie because it was all computerized. I don't know, that's another thing. All this technology, it just takes away from just, putting the pen to the pad. I don't know. But he's a professional letter writer. I'm assuming he works for some company where people subscribe and just like, hey, I have a loved one here, and if you can please put some thoughtful words on, a piece of paper and send it to him with a nice card. Here you go. So he was a professional at that, and he was damn good at it. I mean, I believe that's how the movie opened up.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
I thought he was talking to himself, and I was like, okay, I can see why this crazy nut would possibly fall in love with an operating system. But he wasn't crazy. So and even if people out there, if you talk to your computers or have imaginary friends, no judgment. If that's what makes you happy, keep it up. Just not my cup of tea, and that's just my opinion. But anyway, he worked for this company. We found out that he recently, well, not necessarily recently, had a fallout with his wife, going through a
Divorce.
divorce. And the thing about it is, when you're going into the film, you want to know, okay, is this guy socially awkward? What happened? Is he afraid of relationships? Why is he so attached to a machine, basically? And in a way, you find out about, that answer, that the answer to that question is answered, in my opinion, halfway. The left is left The rest of it is left for you to decide. And he falls in love with the system. They break up, and she dumps him. In short, and he grows from that. It was actually, in my opinion, what he actually needed. To grow as a person. And the look on your face is like you don't agree with anything I just said. Oh,
no, I mean, I love the fact that the way the movie started, and I was like, wow, I'm so excited about that because, like you said, I mean, he was talking, and you were like, is this guy talking to himself? Is he talking to the computer already? You didn't know what,
right.
because they were looking deeply into his eyes, and he's reading
Exactly.
off the screen or
Like
whatever.
the camera zooms, like starts here and continuously pans out more and more and more slowly.
I just felt it was the perfect opening shot for the movie, and it was a very ironic touch, the fact that he was actually almost real people's artificial intelligence.
Right.
Like he wrote people, he had been writing for some people for 12 years,
Right.
so it just it was just a perfect touch from Spike.
He was really into his audience. It was really character driven film, of course. And I would have been disappointed if I walked in and I saw that, okay, this guy's just a hopeless romantic and he just goes out to eHarmony or whatever dating site and just, I want to fall in love with a computer. That just would have been stupid to me. But it didn't start out that way. He was just an everyday guy, and he wanted to increase his organizational skills and just put some things together. Saw new technology, like, okay, let me try this new thing out, like we all do today. And it just grew from there. He just wanted somebody to compile his files. And he noticed that the system had, a personality to it, and he was blown away. Like, oh,
yeah,
damn,
she had so much personality. You empathize with him. Like,
yeah.
geez, like she sounded sexy. Like she was witty. She was charming.
Scarlett Johansson, by the way, what's her voice? Sexy thing.
Like I would have been talking to my computer too. That'd be my girlfriend. No lie.
And the thing about it, I hate to admit that, but it was once in the movie, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? She is seducing this dude here, through the computer.
Yeah, it kind of, no lie though, it put me in a weird spot when he actually had like sex with her. Yes. I was like, he's really smashing his OS. This is happening.
They had sex.
The screen went dark and everything.
Right, and I'm glad they did. I would have been a little creeped out if he was grinding his pillow or mattress. So they blanked out that whole scene, and it was just dark, and you heard them, having sex, or whatever, which was, from my point of view, it looked like it was quite fulfilling for both of them. I don't know how it was for her, but she really had feelings and emotions, and it was weird but highly entertaining, But jumping back, you have a few cameos in the movie. Olivia Wilde. Do you know Olivia Wilde?
No.
She was the girl that he went on a date with the first time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and they, got a few drinks, but, we found out that, and I got to give it to Spike Jonze because we're presented with a character that we know has some flaws, and when he's going through his emotions, the sound stays in that scene, but cuts to other scenes of him having happy moments with his life, with his previous wife, and then the fallout. So it jumps from the good times to the bad times, and you can't wait to the end of the movie to see, how they fell out. I mean, they just seem so happy. She's on top of him, saying, "Oh my gosh, I fucking love you so much, I can fucking kill you," over and over and over again. Initially, I didn't think he ever seen a woman naked before, but about 20 minutes into the movie, you find out that's not true. So normal guy, you just want to know why, why is he so afraid of the real world? So he tries to dust his feet off and goes on a date with Olivia Wilde. It's a nice nice place. They have some drinks. At this point in time, he's already somewhat attached to his operating system. Samantha is her name, and so I kind of like in the middle of the date, he's kind of acting like he doesn't want to be there because he's like cheating on her or something, and that's really at the point where it draw me in. Yeah. I'm like, dude, this is a machine. Like, you can't be.
Because he was having a great time. I mean, he wanted to take her home and have sex with her.
He did, No, I mean he did want
Well,
to.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he did want
and,
to.
and it never happened, and you're like,
It did
wow,
never happen.
this is serious.
Yeah, and she's an attractive one. I mean, when they first sat at the table, I thought she was gonna rip in the shreds. Pretend like she got the phone call from her girlfriend. Like, oh, sorry, I gotta go. The house is on fire, type shit. But
She was really digging him. Though.
she was really digging him, and which was great because it surprised me because I'm thinking that he was gonna be kind of a loser, walking in, but he wasn't. He was just a very particular man, and just word of advice, ladies, if you're out on a date with a guy, and you want to give him the business, do not just stop and say, hey, are you gonna just fuck me and not call me like all the other guys?
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Never say that. Never.
I didn't expect that at
Just
all.
keep that to yourself. Or you can at least just leave it as a, hey, are you going to have sex with me and not call me? Don't say like all the other guys. I mean, you just told him that you're a trash bucket. I'm not calling you that, but you are. And I mean, that's just not, it's just not healthy.
I was actually a little bit upset about that part. Like, was that really necessary? Like,
well, yes, I think it was. Because, I mean, besides all the issues that he was going through socially, it kind of just let you know that he wasn't the only one. I mean, we all go through shit.
oh yeah, okay.
So she had her. I mean, I'm thinking that this guy has problems. She had problems too.
Yeah.
She was crazy. And good job, Olivia Wilde. I mean, this is a cameo for you, but you did a good job because she said that. And then you can tell she was afraid of rejection because she tried to take control of the situation. You know what? She was like, you're weird. I don't want to see you anymore. She knew that she was about to get the boot, so she wanted to trick herself as she was in control and like she was getting rid of him. She's biting her lip, finna bust out in tears. She was a nut job.
I guess it showed her vulnerability because I mean, my thing is they're both drunk. They like each other. They both want to go home and have sex. Why not just do it? But she had to ask that question. It was like, wow,
this never.
Okay.
This, young woman, if you're watching this, old woman, never say that. I'm not gonna talk about relationships, but as far as vulnerability in those two characters, I mean, everyone was like that. Spike Jonze. I don't know if you noticed, but there were a lot of shots that didn't break. They were, just showing Theodore, Joaquin Phoenix, excuse me, walking throughout the city with the camera drawn back, and it wasn't necessarily focused on him. He was a centerpiece, but it had all the other pedestrians and extras walking around too. And I know you'll have like, where you're going with this, but I mean, have you ever just been walking or see a whole bunch of people, or just sitting and eating your Slurpee in the mall and just say, okay, I have to, right when I'm done with this, I gotta go do this, and I'm gonna do this tomorrow. But then you see this person, and you're like, man, I wonder what they're on their way to go do.
Yeah.
And I wonder what this person is about to go do. And why does this kid have an attitude with, their mom over here? I don't know. I kept thinking about that when he was having those shots in the city, of just.
It worked. I mean, because everybody had their own little, whatever electronic device they were working with, and they were on their phones, and so they all. I love the shot when I guess she was breaking up with him. It's a bunch of other people I'm dating or in love with, and he's on the steps, and you just see people walking by. You don't see a face.
Yeah.
You just see legs. Like everybody is going through the same thing.
Exactly.
It's just like a cycle. It's just how society is.
I mean, I've seen a lot of times where, man, you hit the nail on the head with that. But it's been plenty of times where I've been walking around campus, the grocery store, wherever, and I just see somebody sad or just bust out in tears while they're on the phone. I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna go try to console them. I don't know them, But I remember times when I was like that too. So it is in cycles or life, as we all know. Even Amy Adams, Amy Adams is in the movie. If you didn't know, and her name in the movie is Amy as well. So she even said that we're all just here, for a short time or something. It was kind of towards the end. Do you not remember that? That kind of made me think of that when you just made that point.
I don't remember that specific line, but
it was I think it was right after Samantha broke up with him, or maybe right before it.
I don't remember the specific line, but I
okay.
get it.
Yeah, but anyway, what was I gonna say? So that really reminded me, just seeing, all these people walking around, and it's just a nice cycle of life, and it also shows the tech, like, okay, what's dating like today? Mostly not particularly for me, but a lot of people are doing this online dating stuff. You know, I remember like 10 years ago, somebody's like, "Yeah, I met my husband or boyfriend or whatever online." They look at you crazy, like taboo, like, "What? You met him online in a chat room, girl? Wasn't you scared of da 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 this and that?" But now it's just common. I've never met anyone online and started dating them, but if that, I mean, that's just what people do these days. And the point I'm trying to make is when we started this review earlier is it's in the future. You can tell that people are more socially acceptable to technology and whatnot.
Oh, that's it. People are more socially awkward because of technology. That's what I was seeing from it. Like everyone was just like in there, and you see it now. I mean, everybody's on their, iPod. They're on their phone. Like everyone's in their own world. Like you got all your music,
Right.
you got everything you need right here in the palm of your hands. You don't really need to socially interact with other people. And so it's like a prelude, like this is the future,
Right. And I kind of like it and I don't like it. I remember I was talking to my boss the other day. I mean, most people have instant message at work. Sometimes I don't like to do that. Sometimes I just want to go to your desk or your office and talk to you face to face. And it seemed like they lost. I mean, they didn't lose touch of it completely in the film, but just a little bit. But when I was saying that people are more socially acceptable to it, he told his ex-wife, or actually it was actually his wife at the time because they wasn't divorced. She kind of had and I just thought about something. She was kind of weirded out initially when like you're dating your computer and kind of ripped him up, and then his friend too, Amy. But later on in the movie with Chris Pratt and his lawyer girlfriend, I think his name in the movie was Paul. They were all at the picnic. It was Paul, his I guess coworker, and his date, Joaquin Phoenix, Theodore, and Samantha. It was a double date.
Yeah.
At a picnic out in the middle of nowhere. But he wasn't there with a date. He was there with his computer. His friends wasn't looking at him like it was weird. They were looking at him like it was normal, like talking to his operating system, like, "So, what do you feel right now?" And I'm just like, "Wow, this is nuts." It's not
weird.
a person there, but it was good. It was good. And when I just jumped right there, I was just thinking about his wife, his wife at the time. I was thinking the whole time that it was his. I mean, that he did something to piss her off, but she really loved him. She still loved him at that point. She just couldn't deal, with him not being able to deal with real relationships. He wanted to be. He was just scared of beef and confrontation. Basically, I don't know why. That is a complaint of mine that I have about the movie, that they did not show, why. I mean, we found out that he just got out of a breakup, with his wife, but we wanted to know what the breakup was for. But his wife and Samantha both were accusing him of the exact same thing. Like,
Yep.
dude, you're afraid of emotions and feelings and confrontations. You just don't want to get your feelings broke. They didn't show this in the movie, but you can tell that Theodore was this type of character to where if there was an argument, he was like, no, and I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue. Let's just be happy and eat snow cones and rainbows and like someone would be like, no, let's be serious. We have to address this. He wasn't that type of person, and I can understand how that would drive someone away, and it drove his wife away. He could have got her back, but I don't know why he would have to say. He could have easily played that card and been like, yeah, I'm dating someone. Her name is Samantha. She's great. Could have even faked the phone call because he had an earpiece. But no, he just blurted out, yeah, I'm dating my operating system. And he still wanted to be with her, but he shot himself in the foot. But yeah, I mean, it was just his fault.
Yeah, I mean, but he ended up being happier with Samantha anyway. Like and I think that was the situation. Like she didn't have the same like human flaws.
Right.
He almost
right.
could build her.
Right.
And she grew off of him.
I mean, it was actually too real. I mean, it's not like he could turn her off and turn her on. She can turn herself on if she wanted to. When he was asleep, she can call him like, "Hey, baby, sleep." I'm sorry I woke you. I just wanted to hear your voice. I mean, that's crazy.
It really is.
I
And
mean,
the
go
ironic
ahead.
part though is like, she almost grew to him, and with him as he was wherever he was trying to go.
Right.
But once she got, around other people, up other operating systems, everything changed.
Right.
The whole scope changed,
It
and
did.
that's real life,
Right, and it is. I mean, she met, it's OS operating system. Everybody is gonna buy an iPhone or the new operating system, and they just collab together and they started bringing back famous people from the dead, like all of their files, and making another operating system. It was literally like bringing somebody
They
back from the
they did,
dead,
yeah.
bro. It was like, whoa, what
They
the?
did the same thing. The operating systems did the same things that the humans did. They created a whole new
Right,
artificial
right.
intelligence.
It was weird, and Theodore was kind of getting jealous, and I was waiting for the fallout. I was like, okay, when we're gonna have a fallout? When we're gonna have a fallout? And it was right there, in the house. He put the tea kettle on the stove. He didn't like the tone of her voice, and the camera. It was on Theodore's face. It kind of just started to shake. And how do you feel when you get pissed off? It's like you started to boil, and that's exactly where the camera went,
Great direction.
right to the steam pot on the stove. God, dog, I'm sorry. I am. Hold on, grab a mic real quick.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's another a testament to Spike Jonze and his directing abilities. Like they just a bunch of shots like that.
Right.
It was shot beautifully.
Shot beautiful.
I don't know where they were, but those big buildings were like
Yes.
they were beautiful, but it
Right.
just showed you
The scope.
the scope. I mean, you
Like
just so
somewhere
everybody
overseas
just
or
so
something.
small.
Right.
Everybody's so
Exactly.
small. Everybody's on
Right.
their own little computer
Right.
with their headphones in. Like, we're just so we've shrunken down so small, like actual human beings.
And that goes to where I was saying, like, in the beginning where he would show all the people, and it wouldn't focus on him. It would show everybody in, like, all the big buildings. Another great shot, like you said earlier, when she broke up with him, when she was like, hey, I'm talking to like 550, 800 people.
600 something.
No, she started talking to 5,800, but she fell in love with 600.
Yeah.
Something like that. His heart was broke. He didn't know what to do. I mean, he was basically in tears, like, because his computer was breaking up with him because she just evolved past him. I mean, I don't want to say he had to know it was coming, but, I mean, her existence was all of the programmers that programmed her and the experiences that she had with Theodore. Another great shot is when he was devastated that she broke up, they showed him in the shower and the camera was pointed up, showing the water pointing down, and then it showed the shot of all the water going down the drain. I kind of thought of like his life is getting sucked away or going down the drain. I don't know. I guess.
I mean, it's something like that.
That's I don't know. Maybe that was just a coincidence. I thought that was just brilliant directing. In my opinion. So, but yeah, great film, a lot character driven. And in the end, it all came around. I think, it woke him up. It shook him straight, just saying, hey, I got to get out there and, just tackle the world, and I can't be afraid of relationships and getting hurt.
It's about the experiences.
Right.
I mean, that's what happened to Samantha. She experienced all these other thousands of people, and she fell in love this many times, and she grew from it.
Yeah.
And that's what human beings should do. I mean, you can't just sit in front of a computer or in your operating system. You have to go out and experience the world.
Right. And, so she dumped him, and, he went back to his college girlfriend, Amy. And, bro, for a second, I thought they was finna jump off the roof.
I really did, too. I was like, wow, these people are really
finna end the movie like this? It was just so sad. She was like, are you ready? Let's go. And she's like, yes. And I'm like, I'm thinking, because all the operating systems dumped all of their owners, which kind of sucks. And I thought they was just finna go out together, like, fuck it, man. Let's just die together. The movie ended, or it was close to the end, where they were on the roof just kind of looking at the horizon. I thought they was about to kill themselves, but I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, I know.
And they just kind of took in the moment. That would have been horrible.
It really would have been. And it still was like a bittersweet moment. Like they still, I guess they had each other. Like
Right.
that's
Yeah.
it came all back around. You
Yeah.
know, like They lost people in real life. You know, they had always been friends,
Right.
and so they came back around at the end to with each other without the computers, without the operating
Right.
systems.
Exactly. I kind of thought he was gonna take a sledgehammer to his computer, and that would have been kind of. I was kind of wanting that to happen, but on a realistic sense, I'm kind of glad that they didn't have some like makeout scene as because that wouldn't have been real. That just would have been desperation. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, I just want to be. I just need to be. You know what I'm trying to say.
It was
I wanna be
hopeful.
wanted,
The ending was hopeful.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna. I mean, it was, but I think it was a little more than just hopeful. I mean, I'm lost of words. Well, it was hopeful, but I honestly feel that they grew from this.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
did.
Yeah, and
But did they really have a choice though?
what do you mean?
Like the computer systems, like I don't know how exactly they crashed or got canceled or whatever, but they did.
Right.
So both of these people, they lost, their operating systems.
Right.
So it's not like if they were still around, they would still be going through the same thing. So they were almost forced to interact with each other like that.
Yeah.
They were forced on the rooftop to go outside
Right.
with each other, look at the sunset.
Right. Right. Because
So that's why it's bittersweet to me, but it's hopeful.
Yeah, and something I want to mention that was just funny to me. The little alien, was just showing that it was in the future. Was the what was the little game he was playing?
Yeah,
like
little video game.
It was like
Connect
virtual
3000
reality or whatever. I mean, he was controlling the game with his hands, no type of controls. It was just some little alien in there too. The voice of that alien was Spike Jonze, by the way. That was kind of funny. It was kind of out of place.
He can be kind of weird.
Yeah, but it was like, hey, pussy, how you doing? Pussy, faggot, pussy, ass, bitch, fucker, come follow me. And I think he just kind of threw that in there. I don't know, because you said it was weird and kind of to wake people up, get some laughs, and it was funny. Something else that was just so funny and weird was after they had sex the first time, Samantha and Theodore, which was really weird. What was also weird was the awkward morning after.
That was a funny touch. That was a really funny touch. And it was.
They had sex, right? And so, first of all, he comes out the next day fully dressed. I don't know how many people are I'm spitting everywhere, fully dressed in their own apartment, But his hair was all messed up, and he goes over to the computer. He's like, yeah, so we just fucked. I just had sex on my computer. And I want to say it's no different than phone sex, but in a way it is kind of different. And he's like, I'm not trying to, get a relationship. She's like, I'm not either. And, that was just funny.
It was a bunch of funny moments in there. Like it's a nice little funny touches. I liked it.
But what was weird was when Samantha wanted to take it to the next level, she got like a surrogate prostitute that agreed, she told the prostitute surrogate all about the relationship. I guess she had some issues on her own. She just wanted to get a good feel. Hey, I'll be your surrogate computer body. And, so they set up a date. There's a knock on the door. Theodore goes and answers it, and she doesn't say anything. She puts a mole on the prostitute surrogate's face, which is a camera, so Samantha can see Theodore, and also puts an earpiece. So the prostitute surrogate is not saying anything. That was just weird and funny.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah, and also when that was the first time Theodore and Samantha got into it when he put her in the prostitute surrogate.
Well, that's she became real almost.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, you're right. That was our first or closest physical encounter.
Exactly.
Or whatever, and it got a little confusing. I mean, I would be confused too. I don't even know how to describe a sex with a prostitute surrogate operating system.
It was like, in his mind, she was a real person, but she wasn't really real. Like, Samantha is in the computer box. That's where Samantha is.
Exactly. And that's where we kind of find the issues with Theodore's character and, how he doesn't like confrontation. I mean, she's like, hey, babe, what's wrong? And he wants to be, an ass to her when all she wants to do is make him feel good. But, all in all, I really enjoyed the film. I do recommend you go see it. It's not a must-see, but I think if you do go see it, you will not be disappointed at the very least. If I wanted to give it a rating out of a 10, This is the hard part. You want to go first?
I really do not,
Okay,
but
okay. I ain't gonna do you. I always do
I
you
mean,
like
I
that.
will if you want me to.
Hey, if you want to, go ahead.
I give it, I give it a solid 8.5.
Damn, bro, you hit. That's exactly what I was gonna give it to. I was thinking about a 9, but I think I want to give it a solid 8.5 out of a 10, which is very good in my book. It's like a B plus A minus ish type score. So yeah, we agreed. 8.5 is what we gave it. So what do you give it? What did you give it when you went to go see Her, directed by Spike Jones? So
And you know what? Like I said, at first I expected this to be, some type of. I didn't know what to expect really. I knew the premise that he fell in love with a computer, but I thought it was gonna be something that they weren't really telling us. It was what it was, but I feel like it's one of those movies that you might want to watch again, and it's like a lot of different layers. It's speaking about a lot of things. We can have a longer, hour-long discussion about it. I feel like the situation and
yeah.
things going on in there. So
I can talk about at least 20, 30 more minutes, but we're already, damn, we're almost at 40 minutes, 38 minutes and 26 seconds and counting. So we're going to go ahead and cut this now. Well, not now, but guys, that is just our opinion of Her. We would love to hear yours as well. Thanks for tuning in. Whether you agree with us or you disagree with us, it doesn't matter. We want to hear your opinion because all movies are subjective. So let us know what you think in the comments below, and just shoot it to us straight. Whether you think our opinion is great or completely off, just keep it respective, or respectful. Like I said, because all movies are subjective. So go ahead and right here on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button, become one of our subscribers. You can see all the movies that we see this year and the years to come. We're going to be doing this with spoilers, non-spoilers, straight to DVD, all that good stuff. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you liked the video, go ahead and give us that thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hey, you can give us that thumbs down. Just, tell us why, because like I said 1,000 times, we would love to hear your opinion. If you want to find me online, you can, and on Facebook at Brandon Keith Avery, or Instagram and Twitter at Just My Opinion 84. Malcolm, where can our viewers?
you can find me on Twitter, Malcolm the number 2, the letter G, Malcolm 2G, or Instagram MTOOG.
All right, guys. So there you go again. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe. Give us that thumbs up. Comment below. Share it with the world because we don't mind. And before you go, don't forget that my name is B. Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.